See, we forget that we were made, I talked about this a little while ago, we were made in the image of Jesus. And we were made to carry out the mission, to continue the mission of Jesus. That we're the workmanship of God, and he has a list of things to us to accomplish. That he gifted us, that he wired us, that he gave us talents and abilities to do the thing he asked us to do in the first place. But because we don't chase after the heart of God at full speed, because we find ourselves so distracted many times, we never really find out what those purposes are. We don't really know what God's will for us is or God's plan for us is. And many times what happens is we live kind of unfulfilled, kind of empty. I'm not trying to be weird, just hear me. I'm not talking to anybody, so if you're struggling with this, I'm not talking to you because I don't even know. But like when people go through like a midlife crisis kind of environment, that's a part of the root of why that happens. They're completely unfulfilled. Something is missing. They realize their life is slipping away and they're not done, haven't done whatever they haven't done. Many times, and I'm not talking about, don't get defensive with me. Many times our struggle with things like anxiety or depression, or our struggle with things like, just like I'm wasting my life, those kind of feelings or emotions we have sometimes. I'm just not in control, I feel overwhelmed, all those kind of things, many times relate directly to what we're seeking first. See, when you seek first God, okay, then that gets your head right and that gets your heart right. So when the thing happens that causes you to have anxiety, you can't help it when your emotions feel anxious, right? You can't help when your emotions feel fear. You can't help when your emotions feel whatever that emotion, because the emotion is not a spiritual thing, right? It's an emotion, right? It's in your flesh, right? You feel that thing. But when your head's right and your heart's right, then you process that correctly as opposed to incorrectly. So like when we choose worry, we see an event, we choose worry. Worry is the absence of trust. Worry is always sin. Always. I'm not saying the situation isn't worrisome. I'm just saying that worry is always the absence of trust in God. So if I'm not in a right spot in my mind, I'm not in the right spot in my heart, I haven't sought first God, I'm just living life, I got all these distractions, I'm busy, I'm going, I'm doing all these things, I'm running on empty. It used to be a song, now it's real life, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us are running on empty. Some days the way we describe it is just vapor fumes. I'm going to coast in and have nothing left. And then the event happens that causes worry or anxiety or fear or anger, whatever it is. It happens to us and we're not in the emotional, spiritual, mental place to handle it correctly. And that's the problem. Now, on the other hand, when we're seeking first God, his way of doing things, when we're chasing after his heart, when we're surrendered to him, it doesn't mean that those things aren't going to happen, because those things are going to happen. But when those things happen, we're in a better position for them to happen. We handle them differently. We process the exact same thing differently.